Hello, my name is Kumar Ratnam. I'm an IT consultant living in Canada for about 30 plus years. Left Sri Lanka in 1984-85 timeframe. Then ended up in Canada in 1987 sometime through different journeys. I was born and brought up in Colombo. Been to Jaffna only on vacations when my parents take us away. We also grew up in a very concentrated Muslim neighborhood in Colombo. So I pretty much grew up as another Muslim brother, knowing their culture, social life, and pretty much integrated into their community. Having said that, in 1983, when the troubles, as we call it, started, we were sort of in the middle of the action than part of the action. I can visualize the entire city burning around me, except in our own neighborhood. And the reason being that our Muslim brothers safeguarded the few Tamil families who lived in the neighborhood. So if you can imagine a red sky, that's still in my mind. That's how I see things happening, and the gunshots and the cries of people who actually ran through my neighborhood to escape the violence. I was a late teen at that time, so and the memories always stick to us in a visual format of how things happen. And also on that particular day, I believe it was the 22nd July or the 23rd July, I was working as a trainee accountant in a firm close to Peta, which is the central part of Colombo. We were there. Then around 10 o'clock in the morning, they announced they are shutting down the business and asked every one of us to go home. Then I left. A lot of people dispersed in different directions, trying to catch a bus or a taxi or walking towards their home. Most of them were Tamils in that organization. And I left alone because my neighborhood where we lived is only about 15 minutes by walk. So I started to walk. And as I started to walk, I ran into a bunch of a crowd who were making their slogans against the Tamil, who were armed with machetes and other things to cause damage to people. And I became part of that crowd. And sometime the survival instinct kicks in as we run into challenges. And the only way I found out to escape that crowd is to become part of the crowd. And it's very shameful to say that now, to be part of them and shout as if I'm also against the Tamil, only because I wanted to live. Later on, few weeks down the road, I heard few of my office mates were either got injured or killed during the incident. But at that point, my only instinct was to save my life and go home in a safe way. So I became part of the crowd to chant against the people, to walk with them. Then eventually I found my way out of them and got home. And when I got home, there's a lot of incidents that started happening. It was 48 to almost 3 days of continuous violence. As I mentioned, the skies were red in all 3 days. And it's something that I cannot forget, and something that's going to stay with me and my children and my grandchildren as well. So it is Black July, as I remember it, although very tragic, it cost a lot of lives to lose. It also became a catalyst for the community that we are in Canada. But because of Black July, a lot of the Tamils left, a lot of the brain wash happened, a lot of us left the country, and found new places in Europe and Australia and also Canada. And one of the reasons we are a strong community who are still voicing for the Tamil cause was Black July. And it's unfortunate in a sense, or in a very much sense, but in a way that it allowed us to be in a free country like Canada and voice our concerns in a non-fearful, in a safe environment.